Thanks for joining us this morning for our number 2 in our Aging in Place series on home modifications for comfort and safety. And my name is Bob Brocker. I'm the founder and president of AgeWise Colorado. Barbara Boyer is our executive director. She's not able to be with us this morning. So what I'm going to do first here is go through just a few slides to tell you more about AgeWise, and then I will introduce our panelists for today, and we'll get started with that. What we're doing is we launched about 9 months ago to become the premier resource hub for aging Coloradans and their families to help people age well and age wisely. So there are 2.7 million people in Colorado who are over the age of 40. So that covers caregivers, potential caregivers, care receivers, independents, folks who are still doing just fine in their homes without any extra care, and we're helping them all to age well and age wisely. So we've all heard about the sandwich generation, these folks here. Typically between the ages of 40 and 60, 65, somewhere in there, and get pressures on both sides too often, and then not really knowing where to go and who to turn to when you actually need some help. And that's what we're doing with AgeWise Colorado. So we're serving all aging Coloradans, caregivers and adult children of aging Coloradans, employers who have people in that sandwich generation employed, so they can support current and future caregiving employees with our vetted service providers, like we're going to hear from here today, and useful information that's on our website, trying to avoid some of the tension and confusion that this young lady is experiencing right now. And of course, all of our vetted service providers and organizations committed to healthy and aging Coloradans. Why is this important? I think we all know by now that the population in Colorado is aging very rapidly. And just in a few years, we'll have more people over 65 than we have under 18. What we do with AgeWise is provide a hub for all things related to aging. So today we're talking about home modifications to help people age in place for as long as they feel comfortable doing that. We've done other webinars on Medicare and Medicaid and hearing and vision and wills and estate planning. We have one coming up in a couple of weeks on some of the technology developments that are going on, and so on. So these are all of the different kinds of service providers that we're getting on our website, so that people can find them much easier than going through this process of Googling and crossing your fingers and hoping you find what you're looking for. So if you come to AgeWise, chances are good you will find what you're looking for. Depth of knowledge about aging in Colorado, ours is pretty deep, primarily because of people like you're going to hear from today, other service providers. We have a pretty good team ourselves of people who started this organization and our board of directors and connections to other aging folks in the state of Colorado, aging organizations, I should say. Webinars, we had one a couple weeks back in April on the area agencies on aging. Most people don't even know who they are. So that webinar has now been posted on our website. The next one we had in April was, do you have too much stuff? Are you hoarding or clutter? So how do you get rid of stuff, and how do you get help doing that? That recording is not yet on our website. We're still getting some editing done on that one. And then today we're talking about home modifications. In a couple of weeks, we'll be talking about age tech, and on June 1st, downsizing and home sharing alternatives. And then mid-June, healthcare at home. So I'm going to stop sharing here for a moment and introduce our panelists, starting with Amy Reed. Amy is the marketing director of Accessible Systems and has dedicated her passion for barrier-free living and universal design to helping people of all ages and all stages of life. Accessible Systems is certified as a CAPS, CLIP, SEAC. I don't know what all those mean, but Amy does. Professional and licensed as a general contractor, elevator contractor, accessibility lift contractor, Medicaid contractor, and VA contractor, and has adaptive technology certifications, all unique background for today's needs. Amy has helped thousands of Colorado families with creative home modification designs to overcome virtually every type of disability. Amy joined the Chanda Center for Health Board of Directors in 2019, where she is board secretary, following several years on the Chanda Plan Foundation Board. Amy's passion for sharing the Accessible Systems mission has led her to making numerous presentations over the past 8 years, including Case Management Society of America, Occupational Therapy Association of Colorado, Rocky Mountain ALS Organization, Home Builders Foundation, and many others. So thank you, Amy, for being here today. And Amy's going to be doing a live presentation of the Accessible Systems showroom. Okay, so next we have Mark Koenig. Mark is the founder and owner of Number One Sun. Mark has an electrical engineering degree from Purdue University and over 25 years experience in customer service, team leadership, business development, problem solving, and executive management in the computer chip industry. His passion for working with seniors combined with his hobby of home maintenance led to the founding of Number One Sun in early 2012. Mark is the eldest, the number one son of his parents, and is shepherding 6 children and 6 grandchildren with his wife, Lisa. Okay, next up is Tyler. Tyler Pettinger, sorry. Opened True Blue of Lakewood about 1 year ago with the goal of helping people remain in their homes comfortably, safely, and for as long as they desire. True Blue Total House Care is a national franchise specializing in providing senior home modification and services. Prior to opening True Blue of Lakewood, Tyler gained 15 years of experience in the oil field services space in engineering and technical sales management. And next up is Becky Maloney. Becky is the Director of Services for Ace Hardware Corporation. She developed and oversees Ace Senior Services, a subsidiary of the organization that provides services for seniors in the Denver, Colorado market. She spent 17 years of her career with Ace Hardware with leadership roles within marketing, e-commerce, retail strategy and innovation, and now in home services. Her vision is to become the trusted service provider with a world-class level of help for homeowners nationwide. And finally, we have Andrew Wales. Andrew was raised in Holyoke, Colorado, attended Colorado State University, where he earned a BS in mechanical engineering and moved to the Denver area in 2014. He has over 8 years of experience in outside sales and engineering. Andrew and his wife, Courtney, have a son, Lane, and a newborn daughter, Amelia. They love to spend time outside hiking, camping, skiing, and traveling. They also both enjoy entertaining, working on home improvement projects, attending Red Rocks concerts, and everything hockey related. So I guess you're a huge Avalanche fan, I would guess. Okay. All right, so those are our panelists for today, brief introductions of each. And now what I would like to do is turn this over to Amy at Accessible Systems.
Well, yeah, we are shooting live from the Adapted Show Home here in Inglewood. And this is the Accessible Systems Adapted Show Home. It is one of a kind here in the state of Colorado. It is one of 3 in the country. And the idea today is really to expose anybody that's on here that's never heard about our show home to the idea of coming into a place like this to learn about ideas for a forever home. We get to help a lot of people. Like Bob's had a great introduction about what I do. We focus on helping people of all ages, really, in all stages of life. And really, I love the sandwich generation and how you bring that up, because I think that we all get stuck in this space of trying to help older adults as well as, managing a kid life or a professional life. And we need those resources. And so I want to expose people to this resource. It is one of a kind. We're here Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And really the idea as I tour through this is to give people that education, to give them that feel that they have hope to stay in the home, or they can move a loved one in their home, or they can modify the space to live in it. So we meet a lot of families that are scratching their head. I think you had a picture of someone going like this, scratching their head and saying like, what is possible? Do I stay in this home? Do I sell this home? Do I remodel this home? So it's really about like, do I buy? Do I build? Do I remodel? And we kind of fit into that remodeling space. So come on in. We're just shooting live. You're totally fine. So again, we're live, so we're going to have lots of fun here. But a lot of people are considering like, if I do remodel, what does that look like? And it's not just about the aesthetics. We want people to think about the long term. What can I do now that will help me later? But also, how can it be beautiful as well as functional? So we really focus on that beauty and that function and giving people that feeling of hope that I can stay. So as you come through our show home, we just kind of walked through the front door here. You will quickly see it's pretty large space here. We've got bedrooms, we've got kitchens, we've got a living room, we've got a dining room, and we feature in all of those critical spaces, bathrooms too, all the solutions that are available to make the house beautiful and functional. So we do meet a lot of people at a time of need. So something happened. I broke my hip. I went to the hospital. I discharged to rehab. And then from rehab, I went home. But my OT, my occupational therapist, my physical therapist is saying, in order for me to go home, hey, Joe, good morning, afternoon. In order for me to go home, I need to get, something set up so that I can live there successfully when I return to that space, and safely, of course, too. But we also meet a lot of people that are, they see a stair lift, they see a grab bar, and in their mind, they're thinking, that's not me. That's not me. So I think a lot of people are either in that space of, I don't have a need yet, so I'm not even going to think about this. But we really encourage and urge people to think about the long term. What can I do now to prepare myself for living in wherever I'm going to call my forever home? So let's set it up for success. So like I was saying, as you come into the show home, you've got all these different areas. And we really tried to set it up with the idea of coming to a space just like your home. So I'm going to walk into the living room here and just show you guys some of the ideas here. When you are in your living room, what are simple ways that you can help your loved one or yourself get up and down and be comfortable and safe in your living room? So we've got these beautiful lift chairs, and they all come with some kind of remote. And some of them can, help you lift up as well, get out of that sitting position as well as sit down in that sitting position. They also can recline all the way back. So everything here is fully functional for you to come and see and try these. And they're pretty beautiful. I mean, I think this is, some really beautiful types of lift chairs to see and help people not have to rock 5 times to get out of a lift chair or get out of a recliner or a rocker chair. Also in the living room, we do showcase some items like walkers. So the number one thing when we talk to new people that have just found us, we ask, what kind of mobility device are you using currently? Are you using a cane, a wheelchair, or a walker? I would say 90% of the time when we talk to someone, they're using one of those 3. And that's an indicator that I do need some kind of modification. And so this is a really awesome walker. We love to showcase this one. This one I love. And the reason that I love this one is because it folds up right here. And so it's really lightweight. It weighs about 17 pounds. And this is called the Nitro Rollator. I did get this one for my mom. She loves it. It helps her inside of her condo. And so wherever she goes inside her condo, she can use this guy for stability. And she really has a place that if she is out of breath because she does have lung disease and she uses oxygen, she can just sit down and take a rest. So thinking about ways to help people move around their environment, walkers are a great option. We also have some really fancy, canes and different accessories for walkers. And then we also have scooters, and scooters can be used indoors as well as outdoors, just depending on the need. And you can get 3-wheel, 4-wheel. We have a whole bunch here, so you can come and try those as well. So again, everything is here for people to try out. We just have one rule. If you break it, we fix it. So this is the living room space. And so I'm going to take you into kind of the Taj Mahal, I like to call it, of accessible systems, which is really thinking about how do people get up and down levels. Once you go into that house, most Colorado homes are going to have stairs. So how do we navigate those stairs? And we are a lift solutions provider. And so what that really means is we have multiple options, not just one option, to help people figure out what is the right, best long-term solution. So I'd love to show you guys some of our stair lifts here. And here's just one stair lift I'd love to show. I'm going to use the remote and have little Panda sit on it and come down. So what you'll notice about this stair lift is that the rail was folded up to begin with. So it folds up, and then obviously it'll come down as well to give someone a continuous ride. Mr. Panda's coming down the stair lift, rail. So the idea here is that rail could be an obstruction to a walkway area. So a lot of people, this is right by a front door. You come in a front door and then you've got stairs going up and you've got stairs going down. And so a lot of times we need to have this rail move out of the way so we have space in this area and that it doesn't become a tripping hazard either. So Panda made it all the way down. We can lift up everything. As soon as Panda gets out, we can lift up the chair, the footrest, and handrails. And so everything is nicely tight and packed against the rail here. And usually there's about 12 inches of space from the rail out here. So it's usually about 1/3 of an average width of a staircase, which is, 36 inches. So every stair lift usually comes with 2 remotes. You can easily put one at the bottom as well as one at the top so that you can just grab it and pull it to you if you're at the top or the bottom. So that's a straight stair lift. The other type of stair lift is going to be, I've got a landing, or I want to park off to the side because I don't want to be in this space while I transfer on and off of it. So I'm going to actually showcase this one. And this one, as soon as I put that seat down, the footrest goes down. That's a nice option for some people. And this is a curved rail. So this is a customized piece of steel that is made from the manufacturer here in the US, and it will fit any specific staircase. A lot of people call us and say, I don't know if it's going to fit on my staircase. I have yet to find a staircase that we haven't fit the stair lift on because they all hold up, because the rail sits so tight. So this one has another automatic feature, which is it's going to automatically swivel me away from the fall line. So that's another question. People are always like, but at the top, isn't it scary? It could be scary if the seat wasn't swiveled. So when I approach it to go back down, the seat is facing toward me. I have complete safety here, and I can just sit down and then swivel myself around and take myself down. So every stair lift has a certain weight capacity. So those are things that you want to find out and learn about. What I like to say with the stair lift solution, it's a non-permanent change to the house, which means the stair lift goes in. When you're done using it, the stair lift comes out and it looks like it was never there. They can, they basically attach to the stair tread, and they can attach to any type of flooring. So again, it's a great solution for a non-permanent solution and change to the house. If we are looking for something, a lot of times we're working with people that have a diagnosis, let's say Parkinson's, ALS, MS, or maybe someone had a stroke. So a lot of neurological stuff. So we're thinking about how do we stay in that forever home? And elevators can be a solution. These are becoming more and more popular. It's kind of like the next great American appliance in a home. It's an elevator. And this is an elevator that has, a hoistway, a door that opens. It's a construction project. So this is a more permanent change to a house. But it's a beautiful, very functional, and a very great investment in the house for the long term. Most elevators that are going to have some kind of hoistway can go and traverse up to about 3 to 4 different stops. But we also have some really great options for elevators that only go to 1 stop. They don't require a hoistway. So it's more of a piece of equipment and can be put in pretty quickly. And the cost varies as well, of course, too. So that's another way to traverse levels in the home. The other 2 areas that I just want to share with you all to consider the barriers to homes in Colorado. Come with me this way. We're going to go to the special spot called the bathroom. But this is the number 1 area that we find that people will fall. So the first challenge is how wide is the doorway to get into the actual bathroom? Most commonly, 24 inches is what Colorado homes have. So how do we widen that? We could do, one of these guys, a pocket door. The door is hidden in the wall. We could also do a barn door where the door is outside of the wall. So these are 2 different options that gain space inside of the bathroom because the door isn't swinging inside the bathroom. It also will gain space on the width as well. But this is one solution we love to gain width. It's about 1.5 to 2 inches of width that it'll gain. So this door has been replaced with different hinges. And these are what we call expandable door hinges. And so now it makes the door flush with the actual frame, and you just gained whatever the width of the door is back. So if it was 24 inches to begin with, you now truly have 24 inches because with the door in it, it's only 22.5. So low cost, low tech solution. Again, you're seeing a lot of different options here, and that's what we get excited about because we want to give people solution options to make their home comfortable, to make it safe, to create that forever home. We talk about what are forever homes, what are wrong with them? And the things that are wrong with them typically is space. How much space? Maybe it has too much space. Maybe it doesn't have enough space. And so those are the considerations to think about. The other thing is location. People want to stay where they know their community, so they don't want to move. So investing in something like a stair lift, which is literally about 1/3 of the cost of 1 month in assisted living, that becomes more of a desire, I think, than moving into assisted living once they really understand what it entails. So the final space, we talked, actually, let me show you one last thing about the bathrooms. I love this solution. In our bathroom area here in the show home, we've got different ways to elevate a toilet that are really beautiful and functional. And this one is what we call a toilet-vator. So it basically raises the toilet from the bottom up about 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches. And that might be just what someone needs to be able to get on and off the toilet with ease. Very beautiful solution. The other solutions that we love that help people, just kind of step into the modification world are these super poles. This one is basically a half size, and we also have one that goes to the ceiling. Most frequently, we're going to install one of these next to the toilet, in between the toilet and into a tub shower, because here you could easily, use it to get on and off of your toilet, right? Push down, and then this bar rotates around so you're safe if you had a tub here that you can step over. So this is not the greatest example right here of that, but just an idea to give you guys options again. We're all about options. As we come into kind of our bedroom area, the super pole from the floor to the ceiling is here. This is another non-permanent change to the house, something that could be taken from home to home. If people are not looking to remodel, we have so many options that aren't about remodeling, but about just helping, the individual with something that's flexible, that's cost effective, and very functional and safe. So the final area that we talk about to help people is how do we help people transfer? How do we help them get in and out of the bed, on and off of a toilet? If they're using a wheelchair, if they're using a power chair and have a caregiver, we have all types of lift solutions that help them do that, where the caregiver can save their back, basically. And if you wouldn't mind just showing this solution here, this is a lift solution. And again, this is really advanced for someone, but it's really amazing because this is a lift solution that comes to you by a simple remote and can move around the entire space wherever it needs to go, from the bed, to a chair, and even through doorways into the bathroom. So really great way to help somebody if you're a caregiver or if you're someone that just wants the independence. I want to do this on my own. I had a vet that came to us, and he was an older vet and a veteran, and he had his daughter living with him, and she was helping him do all the transfers. He was diagnosed with MS, and he's like, I don't want her to have to do that. I want her to be able to go and live her life. And so we got him one of these systems, and now he can do it on his own. So we love those stories. We love all the people we get to serve. So I think that is a good tour. I don't know how long I've gone. I have a timer, Bob. So
you have a lot of really cool and interesting ideas to help people stay in their homes longer. So I like that. I see a few things there that could be useful in our home at some point in time. So thanks again. Can you give us your address too for people who would like to come by your showroom?
Yeah, so we are right at Federal in Hampton, and we're on the southwest corner, right behind the McDonald's. You'll feel like you're going into a neighborhood, because that's what we wanted. We are about family and home. So it's a great space to come and just explore. And if you are on this today and heard about it from here and come, just let us know, and we will give you a free reacher, which is basically one of those grabbers that helps you get things either up high or down low. So just invite everybody to come down Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And the specific address is 3025 West Jefferson Avenue in Inglewood.
Okay.
And thanks again, Bob.
Thanks so much. Very, very nice. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And Mark Koenig is up next. Mark.
All right. So this is a presentation that I have given before. I do this presentation at senior centers. I do this at senior expos. It's intended to be for senior citizens themselves, and it kind of walks through maybe some of the more practical aspects of home accessibility and safety. My dad had gone into the hospital just a couple of months before he passed, and he came out of the hospital and went into rehab, came out of rehab, and we went through a lot of the home accessibility modifications. And after that experience, it became very apparent to me that this was something that needed to be shared even before that crisis happens, for a couple of reasons. One of them is it's good to know what's out there. You can take some of these steps in advance. They're preventative, and so I just think it's good to have this information ahead of time to prevent possible problems down the road. Can everybody see the slides okay? Is that showing up all right?
Yes, that's fine, Mark.
Okay. Some of the things that I'm going to go over today, like I said, are more practical. Seniors can do them themselves. It's not a bad idea for people that are not senior citizens to go through some of these steps as well. They just make good sense for anybody that could potentially have a fall or needs accessibility improvements for whatever reason. The first one that is very doable at home by seniors themselves is to eliminate trip hazards. We recommend that minimizing the use of extension cords wherever possible. Try to eliminate extension cords wherever possible is very helpful. If you do have to have extension cords, tack them along the outer perimeter of a room so that nobody's going to be tripping over those. Eliminating throw rugs is very helpful at avoiding trips and falls. Getting rid of clutter, keeping walkways in the house clear. It helps avoid confusion of individuals. Some people with Alzheimer's can suffer from some types of distortion in their vision, and eliminate confusion, possible tripping. Eliminating uneven surfaces in the house, outside the house, on walkways, on driveways. Those uneven bumps in sidewalks, while that's not doable by a senior most of the time, there are organizations like ourselves that could come out and grind uneven surfaces on sidewalks, driveways, things along those lines. Just getting rid of objects off sidewalks, having garden hoses and toys and branches and things on walkways can be a significant introduce a significant possibility of trips and falls. And then for the elimination or the reduction of injuries, putting bumper pads on fireplace hearths, sharp corners, sharp tables, other dangerous topologies. There's a lot of different types of foam corner pads, edge pads that you can apply to those types of topologies that will reduce the damage that could be or the amount of injury that can be caused by a fall.
Say, Mark, let me interrupt you just for 1 second.
Sure.
Say that, the number one blog post on our website that people do has to do with eliminating falls. So it's obviously a very hot topic for a lot of people. So I'm so glad you brought that up. So I just wanted to mention that, and please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm going to talk about accessibility and safety related to different types of environments. For example, along staircases, we always recommend to our clients that you want to have full solid handrails on all staircases. The number of times that we get called out to a property after the fact, after somebody's already fallen down a front walkway or a front porch and steps because there was no handrail. There should always be handrails. Better on both, best if it's a full length and maybe even goes up to a foot beyond the edge of the staircase is best. Considering conversions to ramps with handrails where that is possible, on again outdoor steps, things along those lines are great. Amy already covered some of the things that you can do to deal with handrails regarding stair lifts. So Amy's company is a great company to consider for installation of stair lifts. Lighting, it's very important to have good adequate lighting right above it and below, at the top and the bottom of staircases. The reason there is obvious. You want to make sure your transition from a walkway to the stairs is a good transition. A good idea to have light switches at the top and the bottom of the stairs so that you can turn those lights on without having to go one direction without lights. Having porch lights and coach lights on the front of your house to help you transition from coming into the house during the evening hours and night hours. Having motion sensors on those or dusk to dawn where they will turn on. And then auto on lights for hallways, walkways, again, stairs in all rooms of the house is a good recommendation. Doorways. We want to install lever style door handles wherever possible. The round door handles can be difficult to work with sometimes, especially when, hands get weaker as a result of types of injuries and stiffening of the arteries, arthritis, things like that. Amy already covered these door widening hinges. They're they're very helpful to get an extra inch or two out of the width of your door. And then number one son can always come in, or any other company can come in and widen doorways. Again, a 24-inch doorway into a bathroom is not nearly wide enough for walkers, wheelchairs. So widening a doorway and actually reframing the doorway is always a good possibility as well to get better access to those items. Let's see. Yes, talked about that. Here's an example of one of the door handles that I was talking about that is not round. It gives you the whole hand to be able to grasp and move that lever. And over here is the door widening hinges that Amy was talking about that you can get, I believe, probably from her store. Let's talk about bathroom safety. Again, as Amy mentioned, Amy, you're such a great straight person, and thank you for bringing up all these items here. Bathroom safety is a huge issue. The majority of falls that do occur and injuries that occur as a result of falls are occurring in bathrooms. And again, this is an area that, we get the phone calls after people have slipped and fallen and injured themselves. And then we're coming in behind them to install grab bars to prevent the next time. Put these grab bars in before you need them, before the trip, before the fall, before the slip. I'll tell you what a grab bar is not. A grab bar is not a suction cup grab bar. We don't put those on tile. They are just not, in my opinion, very reliable. A towel bar is not a grab bar, and a shower curtain rod is not a grab bar. Those are things that you're going to grab onto, they're going to let go, and that's going to cause a slip or a fall, is trying to rely on those things that are not reliable sources of stability. We always recommend removing glass showers and installing shower rods and curtains. Again, that seems counterintuitive, but shower doors, if there is a slip and a fall, having the fire department or an ambulance crew trying to maneuver around a glass door to get two rescuers and a client inside of a shower with a glass door on it just doesn't work. It slows things down. It's not safe. We recommend installation of shower chairs and transfer benches within bathrooms. Those provide stability. They provide, if there is an ability to related or concerns related to balance, both a shower chair and a transfer bench are great ways to get into get in or stay in a shower area or a tub area without the risk of losing your balance. It's hard to lose your balance when you're sitting down. Although I think I did that when I was in college, lost my balance a few times sitting as well. Installing ADA shower wands so that, again, while you're sitting on a shower chair, you don't have to get up to turn the water on or off. You can soak your body as needed. Having foam covered faucet covers. They make sleeves of foam that you can put over the shower faucet or the bathtub faucet, so that if there is a slip or fall, there's a padded thing there instead of a hard stop. Putting non-slip treatments on the base of on the shower floor or on the tub floor. Some of those can be very, very slippery. Shower mats can be helpful, but they're not always the best option either, because those too can cause slips. And there are treatments that can be applied to those to prevent slips and falls. a higher ADA compliant toilet or toilet risers, toilet seat risers. The item that Amy showed, I thought that was pretty cool, Amy. I'm going to hit you up for one of those to try that on one of my next clients for a raised toilet. Converting to roll-in showers for complete wheelchair accessibility or tub to shower conversions. We can support those, and again, a good idea for safety. Toilet safety bars, lever style faucets on the sink faucets and on the tub faucets. And then there's tub edge grab bars as well that I've heard people had good success with. I'll show you some pictures of the things that we've talked about. Here's the shower chair. Again, while you're sitting in the shower, this is just a great thing to sit on. It prevents loss of balance. Here's a transfer bench going over the edge of a standard bathtub. Using a transfer bench like this can get somebody into the tub, be able to shower without the concern of a slip or a fall while putting their leg over the edge of the tub. You put your posterior here on this thing and then spin your legs over the edge of this, and then you've got a bench inside the shower. Here's the handheld shower wand. This one's made by Moen. I've kind of like it. It's got a button right there at the top that you can use to turn the shower water on and off right there at the handle, as opposed to having to leave it running the whole time. This is the tub edge grab bar that I was mentioning to help get in and out of a tub. Here's a couple of items. This is one that we have done before in the past. It basically takes your bathtub and turns it into a shower. It reduces the size of the step. This is kind of a second, we'll call this the plan B option. Over here is the plan A option, which is to take out a bathtub and put in a roll-in shower or a low barrier shower. This is a good plan B. It's much more cost effective than this option, but it does, it still does make this a more easily accessible shower. Your tub is no longer really a tub anymore. It's now become a shower, but you've got the remnants of the tub that stay in place. Just a couple of other, I missed one. This is the toilet safety bar that I have recommended and used before in the past. I like those. That's an example of a riser. I like Amy's riser much better. So I'm going to borrow that picture of yours sometime and use it for my presentation and tell them to go see you when they need to buy one. Just a couple of other safety issues that I would recommend that our clients should check for. Smoke detectors. You need to have smoke detectors in your house, one in every bedroom, one outside every bedroom, on every level. So make sure your smoke detectors are working and that they are up to date. They need to be replaced every 10 years. Carbon monoxide detector is an absolute must. I still go into a lot of homes where there's carbon monoxide, that there are no carbon monoxide detectors, and I just can't urge strongly enough to get that taken care of. Have your dryer vents cleaned out once every year, maybe every couple of years. It does build up lint on the inside of the dryer vent and can cause fires in your house. Have your furnace checked yearly and have your fireplace and chimney flue checked occasionally as well. So anyway, that's the presentation that I give to our clients. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Bob, whenever you think that's appropriate. Thank you very much.
Mark, I guess I've got a question. I know that you work in a pretty good range. What's the most predominant issue you see when you go to a senior home that they are not aware of that you may see the need for a modification or an installation of?
Great question, Jason. It's always the one that is always in most need is bathrooms. Again, because they're so dangerous. Number one, without modification, a lot of serious injuries can occur there, and seniors just don't know what is available to them and what modifications can be made to make it significantly safer. That's probably one of the most frequent senior home improvement projects that we do is bathroom modifications.
Joanne, you have a question. I'm sorry, I was on mute. So, so Joanne, you couldn't hear me. So
Yes.
go ahead, Joanne.
So, Mark, I had a quick question for you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay, I appreciate that. So I represent the Commission for the Deaf, Hard of Hearing, and Deafblind, and I do appreciate you mentioning the smoke detector and carbon monoxide just as one accessibility element. But I'm wondering, how are you addressing that for deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind? Because there are specific tools that, while we may not offer in the program as part of my communications technology program, I do have suggestions, but I wanted to ask you first, what are you suggesting people install, given that it's like the highest, not to sound morbid, but it is a highest death rate for individuals who are with our older population and children who are deaf, hard of hearing, and deafblind who don't have that access to escape because they don't have the notification.
Right. So, I'm familiar and recommend in situations with deaf is the types of smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors that also have strobe lights that are associated with them. So you've got the strobe lights that actually work in the room of detection, and then remote strobe lights as well, where those things can be set up in other rooms as well that will trigger off of the same unit.
Thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely. And for people with low vision who are also hard of hearing, there are some other solutions. I put my information in the notes, so I know Amy did a great presentation as well. But if you ever want, there's also some probably affordable options, because smoke detectors with strobes, as you know, are really expensive compared to just general off-the-shelf ones. So there's some newer technology that basically collects the sound and then sends a light signal or a signal to the bed shaker. So if they're in bed and, pillows over their head or whatever, like I do, and you can't even see the strobe, but just reach out to me. I'd be happy to provide any additional guidance, but I am very happy that you mentioned that during your presentation.
Thank you very much. I'm going to look you up and pick your brains for the latest and greatest technology out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the question and the reply there. Next up, we have Tyler Pittenger of True Blue, and thank you so much, Mark, for your presentation. So Tyler, you can share your screen at any time and take it away.
Yeah, thanks everyone. So Tyler Pittenger here. I'm the owner of True Blue Total House Care of Lakewood here outside of Denver, Colorado. True Blue is a national franchise. It spans, I think we've got 70 owners now across the US. And, as Bob mentioned earlier, I opened up the Lakewood territory here about a year ago. And so we're a home maintenance handyman outfit who specializes in home modifications for seniors who wish to age in place. Handyman projects inside and outside of the home could be anything from changing light bulbs, changing outlets, replacing doors, what have you. Special projects could be deck repair, kind of anything that folks can dream up. But more to the point on today's topic is the aging in place. So True Blue, from a corporate perspective, our mission is to be America's most trusted and respected handyman and house care company. True Blue is the only national provider that specializes in house care for seniors and busy families, both inside and outside of the home. So, yes, we can do a lot of handyman home maintenance projects, just as Mark can, but we do try to focus on the aging in place model and making sure that the folks want to stay in their home, can stay in their home as long as possible. Lots of statistics out there, of course. We talked about them already today, but slips, trips, falls for seniors over 65 account for a large majority of injuries and deaths. And so as we focus on the aging in place concept, as Mark alluded to really well in his presentation, focusing on reducing tripping hazards is a large part of kind of what we do and what we look for when we visit homes. Another statistic there that these falling accidents are certainly increasing, and so we want to try to get ahead of that. As part of our brand and as part of our commitment to the community and commitment to seniors, each owner is encouraged and required to do some training on the aging in place concept. So through Age Safe America, we go through a training that allows us to do some home safety assessments. So we're not home safety advisor or home safety. We're home safety advisors going through the certification process. New as of this year, corporate has announced that is requiring all the homeowners, myself included, to go through the Certified Aging in Place Specialist program through the National Association of Home Builders. So we will all be working through that and have that accreditation as well. I won't go through everything that Mark hit on. He hit on a lot of really good points. So certainly don't want to sound redundant and go through all that information. But likewise, one of the things that of course is an easy one that we point out is switching out the doorknobs to lever style. Of course, they're a little bit easier to manipulate, especially for folks that are having trouble with arthritis and issues, inflammation with the wrist. And also, converting tubs to showers is a big one. If you like your tub, of course, Mark showed a lot of good applications, Plan B applications. If you want to keep the tub still used, but of course we want to get in front of any issues ahead of time, and so install those grab bars obviously before you need it. In terms of tub to shower conversions, we do partner with a company called Best Bath that makes accessories as well for those conversions. Those are they're kind of piecemealed shower surrounds, and so they're acrylic mounted to heavy duty plywood OSB type construction. They snap together really well, go on the walls, and so they're easier to maintain, easier to clean. They've got like a 30-year warranty, and so we have a partnership with them to install their products, if the tile type of application isn't suitable for somebody's needs. In addition to, also, so one of the things that we look at when we go to homes, we do in-home safety assessments, which is, potentially a 2 to 3 hour type of an exercise, and it's a list of about 200 different items that we look for. One of the first things that we do look for when we come up to a home is on the exterior, making sure that the house numbers are easily identifiable and easy to see. That's one thing I've noticed, that a lot of homes, if you go to as many homes as I do, you're always searching for house numbers. And if you have an emergency at your home, the EMTs, the first responders are on their way. Seconds matter, and so you don't want them to be searching around trying to figure out where they need to go. So one of the recommendations we typically make is look at your house numbers, make sure that they're big, they're high contrast to the rest of the house, they're easily identifiable, easy to see, so that folks can find you if they need to. And then of course the walkways, looking for anything trip hazards, making sure the shrubs are kind of out of the way, anything that could cause somebody to run into or just be a potential hazard. So I won't go into any more really. Mark covered a lot of the same things that we kind of focus on as well when it comes to aging in place and focusing on in-home modifications and stuff like that. So I won't belabor the point, but we are here in Lakewood. We focus on the Lakewood area and some surrounding neighborhoods as well, up into Wheat Ridge and down to Littleton. And so, we are a local source for any of those kinds of home improvement needs. So with that, I will keep it short and sweet. Turn it back to you, Bob.
Well, Tyler, thank you. And I have a question for you. So you worked in oil field services and sales and engineering. And so what drew you to take on this franchise and start doing the work you're doing?
Sure. Yeah, good question. I mean, I looked at franchise businesses for several years, kind of wanted to have my own business. And, you know, as I was browsing through it, this one kind of caught my eye. Simply because of the senior focus and the age in place concept. My grandmother just turned 90 this year. She's a huge, or last year rather, she's a huge, influence and important person in my life. And so over the years growing up, I mean, I've pretty much done everything I can to help her out in and around her home and make her comfortable. And I kind of wanted to use that and that motivation to help others who might need that kind of support, either, may not have family in the area to help, or maybe just don't have the means. And so a lot of it was kind of just driven by that mindset.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Thank you. And thanks for your presentation and what you're doing. I've got a couple of questions that I'm going to hold until the end. And so next up will be Becky Maloney with ACE Senior Services. So Becky, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for having me. It's great being here with the rest of the groups and presenters today. Becky Maloney, again, Bob had given the bio. I've been with ACE for quite some time now, and I'm guessing you probably recognize this brand. We've been around, ACE has been around for about 98 years, but ACE Senior Services is pretty darn new. We launched about 6 months ago. So I thought I'd spend the time today just introducing you to the service and what we do, and then I'd gladly take questions at the end. So with that, we are obviously, given the name, very focused around connecting seniors we've got independent contractors doing the work, which we call helpers, but really it's around connecting seniors with really basic home maintenance tasks that they probably physically can't do, or maybe they've elected to focus their time on something else. And so if you can see the screen here, we've kind of grouped these into 5 different areas of service work to be done. And so I'll just go left to right. I mean, again, these are everyday tasks that seniors have to keep up with to maintain their home and to maintain into just really a safe place. And so while the rest of the group, they've talked about a lot of the changes to the home, we're talking around some of the physical maintenance and tasks that need to be done just to kind of keep your home where you need to be, especially for seniors. So from left to right, we do basic maintenance, changing out air and water filters, light bulbs, batteries, especially when it requires somebody getting on a stool or a ladder to do some of this. We've had customers that need help taking down their Christmas decorations or moving things from the basement to a first floor that's more seasonal, changing out furniture, install hanging pictures, lights, curtains, things that really make the place really comfortable as well as safe. The second bucket is home safety. Here we'll focus on some basic security cameras. We're not going to install for some larger companies, but you can, the Nest and things like that they may want in their home. Really basic safety assessments that maybe we won't do the work for, but we'll kind of point out things that would help assist from a safety perspective. The third bucket, which is actually our most popular, is outdoor maintenance and yard work. What it's mowing and raking and picking up apples from the yard and snow removal. You guys got a lot of snow there in Denver over the course of the last few months. That's been a really popular service of ours that many seniors just can't do given the weight of the snow. The fourth bucket would be just some basic technology. So I need to program my garage to my remote or to my smartphone, my remote to the television, really basic technology. And then finally, the fifth bucket in area of service that we operate in is light cleaning and organizing. Maybe moving things from a higher shelf to a lower shelf because they can no longer reach it without getting on a step stool. Cleaning the bathrooms. We've got some seniors that are taking advantage of, while they can typically do some of this work, that they maybe had a recent injury or a recent illness that we've taken over for them. So again, connecting seniors with helpers in the community via an online website to do these basic home maintenance tasks. that they might not be able to do. And so we're a little bit unique in the way we operate. We are a paid membership program. So, think Costco or Amazon Prime, where we're a paid membership, and that gives seniors, and quite honestly, we're open to seniors or anyone of any age, millennials that don't know how to do these things or don't want to do these things, or those that are disabled. So we're open to everyone. But it's a paid membership, either a monthly at $19.99 or annual at $199. And for that pay in, you've got access to over the 50 services that I mentioned, but at a very economical rate of $25 an hour. And so that's really how the model works. And then everything is managed through our online website that can be accessed via a mobile device or a tablet or a computer. Or even we've got a care center that's lined up and ready to support and assist with booking service work for the member. So pretty straightforward. Buy into the membership and then really get these services and accessibility at a desired time, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 days a week. So we're trying to be accessible to seniors when they need us most. So that's who we are. That's how we work. And then in terms of where we're at, right now we're just in the Denver market in about 56 zip codes. I'll be honest, I'm not from Denver, but we're Denver and some north and some west and southern cities. So our website lists where we're at. We plan to grow, but we've started in Denver. We've got our sister company, Ace Handyman Services, that we work closely with. So if we've identified an opportunity that requires some greater work, we've got Ace Handyman Services in the Denver market to take over and do some of those bigger projects. So pretty straightforward. If you're interested, anyone on the call is interested in learning more, or know of a senior or somebody in the Denver market that would could benefit from our services, I'd love to talk more about it. But pretty straightforward. I don't have any the group kind of covered some of the safety procedures and things to consider. For us, it's really anything that is done around the house we can help with. And so we have vetted folks in the community to help their neighbors, and that's what we're all about, is helping seniors live day to day safely and independently. So quick overview. If anybody has any questions, let me know. My information, I think, is in the chat, and our website is pretty self-explanatory. We've got our care center number listed there at 855-289-5755, and they're always willing and happy to help. So if you're interested in more information, I'd love to connect with you guys.
Thanks so much, Becky. One quick question for you is, why did you choose Denver as your first market?
Well, really two primary reasons. One, as I mentioned, Ace Handyman Services, they've got a massive operation in the Denver market and know it pretty well, and are in consumers' homes very often, and they help kind of recognize the opportunity to work with seniors. And then secondly, just in some of the research we've done, Colorado does a lot for seniors. I know you guys are in the top 3 in terms of support and programs and things. And so that's where we decided to start. But our end game is ultimately to be national, just like our 5,000 stores nationwide, Ace Handyman Services in over 43 states. So our goal is to help seniors across the entire country. But we've started in Denver. I've met lots of folks that have helped me really understand this space a little bit better. And I think what we're doing is really making some seniors quite happy. And I think there's an absolute need for it. So.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, Andrew, please, you're up next.
All right. So I am the owner of Shelf Genie of West Denver. So what we do is we really focus on custom storage solutions inside your home in your existing cabinets. So like to say is we convert your existing cabinets into a more organized, accessible, and usable space. This is a little bit about what we do. So Shelf Genie is a national franchise. So we do have our own manufacturing plant, and we do design, manufacture, and install all of our products all in-house. So we take care of every step of the process, from coming out to your home, kind of seeing what we can do to make it, more accessible, safer to use your kitchen and bathroom, so you can keep cooking as you age in place, make you more independent. Our goal really is to create more storage space inside your home, accessible, make it more, increase the accessibility, and create some, safer spots in your home that can be a little dangerous. As you can see, that step stool right there. One of my, top goals is, or one of the more rewarding things is when we can say you don't need to use your step stool anymore to get things out of your pantry or in your upper cabinets. This creates, get rid of that hazard in the kitchen. We have a lot of clients too that, are moving and downsizing from a bigger home to a smaller home, or even if it's a smaller kitchen, they're finding out that they, all their kitchen appliances aren't fitting in their cabinets like they used to. So they kind of struggle with that. That's where we can come in and be the experts and help find spaces for that makes sense. And they're, again, to make it safe too. So you're not putting things on top of cabinets, clearing, your space on your countertops. That's kind of our goal. Every design product is custom built for you and our clients. So, really emphasize the custom. Nothing is really pre-made until, we put the order in and we custom make it for you to the millimeter. We actually work in millimeters. So we really maximize, again, that space that's inside your existing cabinet. Reduce or eliminate, straining your body, bending over, getting on your hands and knees. We want to get rid of that again. We have a lot of clients that have, knee replacement surgeries, and they physically cannot get on their hands and knees anymore, or, major back surgeries, and they can't bend over. That's where we can kind of come in and help you and say, you can still use the things in your cabinets without, replacing cabinets or having to move. So I'll just go over some examples of, our solutions. Now we have, 50, 70 different things we can do. That's the kind of nice thing about us being custom and giving, our clients a product that really works for them. We do all sizes of jobs. We do just a single cabinet, where we do, the full kitchen. So there's no minimum for us. We really strive to give our clients what they need. First example I'll go over is on the left side is the blind corner cabinet. So a lot of smaller kitchens have these kind of annoying blind corner cabinets in them, where, there's all that space in the back, all the way back in there. And the only way to get into that is to literally get on your hands and knees, take 5 things out so you get a thing in the back. We have a solution for that pulls the shelf towards the opening, so you can access those things without having to get on your hands and knees. We have a recent client who's in a wheelchair, and he has 2 of these cabinets in there, and it was just a need for him to have something because he lives by himself and he needs to be able to get things, and he likes cooking. So we want him to make sure he can have his pots and pans in there, and he can use them and get to them, and really, use them for his cooktop and everything like that. This next one here is what we call our glide around. So it's a very unique product for us. There's no one that has anything out there like it. It's basically our upgrade to the Lazy Susan. So we get a lot of clients that have Lazy Susans that are either they're not spinning anymore, or they're broken, or they're just not working well for them. So we can kind of come in and replace that with this. One of the issues why the Lazy Susans quit spinning is actually just because something gets stuck in the back there and it gets wedged in between the Lazy Susan and the cabinet. What ours does, it really keeps things from falling out, so the things are really secure. So again, you're not getting your hands and knees to dig out something in the back there to get your Lazy Susan to spin. One of my favorite things to be able to do is under your sinks, where there's really not a lot of storage space, especially in the bathroom. We can create a lot of storage space in there. Those are people aging in place. Usually there's a lot of medications, things like that, in your bathroom. So what we have here, we call these our independent risers, or a shelf that pulls up by themselves. These are custom made to work around plumbing, any other, things that can be in the back of those cabinets. And again, we're trying to eliminate bending over to reach down in the bottom of your cabinet to grab something, reach around all the plumbing back there. Really increase the usefulness of those cabinets. This one on the right here, this is kind of, a standard kitchen-based cabinet, but just showing how much more space we can add. With 3 shelves, where usually in Colorado, you have just the bottom shelf and a half shelf in the back, creating all that storage space. So again, talking about those clients that are downsizing, creating that space so they can keep all their stuff they use to cook and bake. All right, some more examples here. On the left is this is called a pull down unit for an upper cabinet. So it's for maybe people that are like vertically challenged. I like to use the word short. I'm one of them, but vertically challenged. Being able to, again, not use that step stool, and if you need the space to store something in those upper cabinets, this will literally pull down so you can access things that are up there, and then pushes back in. It's really safe to use, and really, really easy for us to come in there and put it in for you. This one here is called our divider shelf. So it's something we can do again within an upper cabinet, or above a refrigerator, or in this case an oven, where we can kind of keep flat items stored vertically, so they're really easy to get. They're not stacking on top of each other, and again, you're not having to get on a step stool to climb up there, lift things up, and pull them out. They'll easily slide in and out, and they're nice and secure with those dividers in there. We do mixer lifts. So for a lot of clients that love baking, and they use their KitchenAid mixer once, twice, 3 times a month, that's one of their favorite hobbies is baking, and they want to keep doing it, but those mixers are really heavy and can be really dangerous to move when you're bending over to pick it up to put on a counter. It makes it really not fun to bake anymore. So these mixer lifts work great for people up, using their mixers, so they can, not have to lift it up. You can literally, that thing swings out to like a counter height, and then you can use it right there. Then when you're done with it, you just push it back into the cabinet and close the door, and it's right there. You don't have to lift it up at all. This last example here is just an upper cabinet Lazy Susan. So this is a relatively simple solution, but very effective in an upper cabinet. Again, sometimes, when you have fixed shelves up there, you're on your step stool, you're reaching in the back to find something. With the Lazy Susan, at least you can spin it to the front, so you don't have to get on that step stool to reach in the back there. It's right in the front and very accessible. So how we work is, all our design consultations are free. So we go out to, to the client's home for free. We do a 3D design to show them how everything looks. We go over all the options. And kind of how the other panelists have said today, we just want to give you options and let you know what's possible out there. And we're always happy to do that. If you have any questions, or want to book a free consultation to learn a little bit more about what we do, I'm happy to come out. This is my contact info. That is my cell phone. So feel free to text me or call me, email. And then we just want to look at more images or things that we can do, more examples. Just go to our website. We have our solutions magazine on there, which has 50 pictures of things that we can do. And that's all.
Okay, Andrew, thank you very much. That was interesting.
Thank you,
That
Bob.
very interesting, actually. So things I have never thought much about before. So and I'm sure that's true of some of the rest of the people in our audience today too.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, when I even got into this, I didn't know a lot of this was possible. That's what's kind of cool. And we're constantly coming up with new solutions too. So it's even, we can do things, again, 100% purely custom. So if there's a, kind of a strange cabinet or something you're looking for that you can't find anywhere online, we can probably build it for you because we have our own shop that will do it. So it's really cool.
Excellent. So one thing, if you could stop sharing.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing here.
Get back to where we are. Okay, thank you. So a question that I guess I have for all of you is, we hear a lot about shortages of people that have skills to do the things that we were talking about here today, and the materials. So can you talk a little bit about that? I mean, so in terms of lead times, if somebody calls you up and says, hey, I'd like to get such and such a thing done. And how much time is that actually going to take to get it scheduled and actually get it accomplished? So
Right. So for us right now, from when we put the order in, so basically when the appointment is, and then you want to approve the design, it's about 8 weeks for right now for us to come back and install. The main reason for that has been labor shortages at our manufacturing shop. So everything we do is made in the U.S., so we never have had any issues of supply chain in terms of getting materials. Luckily, we haven't had that issue, but it's been more on the labor side. And our plant has just been, backed up for a while now. And part of that problem is Shelf Genie has grown, substantially in the last 2-3 years. So we're actually opening up another plant here, hopefully in the next month or two, and that should cut our lead time, basically in half. So ideally, we like to be about that 4-week time frame.
okay, thank you. Anyone else like to handle that question?
Yeah, this is Mark with Number One Sun. We've bumped into a couple of spot availability issues on some materials. There are some of our suppliers are pushing out a little bit in time, but the majority of the stuff, if one vendor doesn't have it, we can usually find it at another. We have not bumped into too many supply issues. Labor issues is definitely an ongoing issue. I think it has been for a couple of years, and I think ever since the employment rates have dropped, unemployment rates have dropped as low as they are. And during COVID, for sure, labor rates have gotten labor availability has been pretty tough.
Yeah, I guess I would echo. This is Becky Maloney. I would echo in terms of labor. It's been a little bit rough for us, but we've employed independent contractors who we interview for a very servant heart, who just absolutely love to either volunteer their time or help seniors with these basic tasks. And so that's kind of been kind of our sweet spot, folks that have the time. And it's not necessarily about the money that's driving them, but more about helping people in their community. And so therefore we've been able to maintain a good source of labor for the most part. And our services, we haven't seen much of a delayed time period, though our jobs are much less intense than the rest of the panelists in terms of time, but that's kind of been where we sit.
Okay, thank you. Tyler, or Amy, either one of you?
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, same situation for us. I mean, labor is the hardest part. We run a slightly different model. Our employees are all W-2. So, we go through background screening and make sure that, they can pass criminal background and all that. So, we do have for some fairly high standards for our folks, but yeah, I mean, across the board, labor is tough. In terms of materials, most of the projects, the bigger projects we work on, we can find, what we need locally. If it's a special item, like maybe it's a custom made door or a custom made window, then yeah, that's going to certainly take weeks to get in. But by and large, most of the stuff that we get, we can find off the shelf, or we can figure out a way around it to figure out a different solution, I guess I'll say, to accommodate.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Amy?
Yeah, and I'll just comment on like remodels, doing those bathroom remodels at the beginning of the year. We intentionally took a pause on doing bathroom remodels for anybody as far as taking in new clients. And the reason that we did that was because our lead time was out so far, and we don't like to have our lead time out that far because we want to be able to help people a lot quicker. And so we certainly had some labor challenges as well during that time, but within those 6 weeks, we shored everything up. We got the people that we needed. We do have high standards as well with our hiring. Everyone is W-2, an employee on our team. So we look for really good people, and we were able to shore that up. And, we got our lead times down very like half of what it was at the beginning of the year for bathroom remodels. And that was not necessarily for people in need. That was more just general remodels. So anytime we have a client that has a specific need, like I need you to take out this tub and create that barrier-free bathroom, we're going to be able to work with them because that's our priority. That's our primary people that we want to serve. So as far as equipment, lead time stretched and they're kind of back to where they need to be, on stair lifts and stuff like that. And so we've got everything, inventoried, and we're back down to, those 7 days or less turnaround times for things like stair lifts and ramps and railings.
Okay, excellent. Well, it's 1 o'clock, so I don't want to keep you any longer than you want to be kept. So I would ask our audience, though, do you have any other questions for these folks before we sign off today? I mean, this has really been great. I've really enjoyed listening and watching and learned a lot myself. So very much appreciated. But anybody else have any questions that they would like to ask before we close? You're welcome, Cindy. We're glad to do it. I would remind all of you, some of you are service providers in other areas. So, think about the fact that, if you can join AgeWise Colorado, it's easy to do. All we ask for is a donation. And, we don't require any specific amount of money. So it's a matter of getting on our website, checking it out, and joining us. And we continue to do these webinars on a variety of different topics, as you saw in the beginning, and we'll be adding more all the time. So you too can be on one of our webinars in sometime in the future. So once again, thanks everybody, and have a great afternoon.